You know, in the early days when I developed this crazy idea of CIM trying to do what the vertical guys were doing, um, I was really laughed at a lot because it's like this will never happen. You can't make this work, and it's crazy, and you're never going to make any of these things real. So fast forward, we're doing this, and we're integrating not only the information to and from the field, but the quality of the information. And what I want to do is I just want to talk about some practical ideas that come into play when you're working on a CIM project. And this is a prime one. And this was actually a subject of another video because it's such a cool project. Um, our engineer, Michael Stallings, put this one together. And this is just basically, as you can see, some really surgical work that was done on an existing site. And this site is huge. You can see the boundary of the whole site. There's buildings. It's a hospital site. There's buildings. They're adding parking. Well, that's great. But I mean, this parking is joining stuff in all these different places. So if you kind of look up here at the notes, perform spot checks to verify grades before beginning work on site. So there's our little warning that, look, we did this to what the picture is like, but what we really said to the customer in an email was, look, get some shots. And what we did was we provided them with information where we wanted those shots. And one of them was at this spot right here. So we're joining a drive here, as you can see, follow my cursor, on this center line here. And then we're also picking up information here on an approach. So this heads out to another facility. And we need to know what these elevations really are so we can warp this in. So this is where CIM really gets down to what's happening. Now, yes, we've got to watch utilities and so forth that's underneath, but I really want to know how to make this paving match up. Everything else is going to fall into line unless we've got something that's poking out a little bit too high. Someone's trying to get this storm in the wrong place and it's not working right. So there are some things that could slow us down, but I've really got some decent information that is going to make me happy so I can provide information. Here's how the flow works. You get the job in your hands, you load it up in the data collector, and you go out here because now you can see the 2D location because you're localized and you're set up on the job, and you're going to go shoot these things for us. Well, once you shoot these points come back, and let's do edge of pavement, and you're going to get these elevations here. And what happens is once we get those elevations, we're going to verify that those work. We're going to adjust them. And when we adjust them, it's going to be one of two things. Hey, a couple tenths here and there, everything works. Water's still going to flow downhill. This sidewalk that runs around here is cool. Everybody's happy. Go on about your business. Or conversely, what happens is we originally built this thing like the picture, and what happens over here is this thing was just plain old wrong. It was about 1.5 feet off. Why? Who knows? Who cares? It is, and we've got to make it work. So this goes to us. We look at it. We say, hey, it's 1.5 feet here. Again, you never ask a question unless you know the answer. We say, hey, if you adjust this and we kind of do a remake of this area here and keep as much as we can intact and change it, send it back up to the office. Okay, everything we do goes through the office, and then they send it to the field, and then they send it to the engineer. They get approval because the engineer's like, oh, great, somebody did the job for me, and they figured out that water still flows downhill. We can make this work, and it gets transmitted to the engineer. They like it. They send it back, and what happens is the office sends a clean bit of information to the field that they don't have to question. And that's the big thing. The office's job is to make sure that the field doesn't have to do this kind of stuff. They take care of it for them. They get all the heavy lifting done so the field can go out and perform what they're supposed to do, and that's basically build the job. And that is the essence of CIM, And that is why it's powerful and why we need a strong person in the office and a strong person in the field, as well as good data collection and data processing on both sides. As usual, thanks so much for listening and watching and reading and sending those emails with questions. Anything you want to know or need help on, don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks.